My name is Victoria Sterling, and on my 34th birthday, my husband of 6 years served me divorce papers during what I thought would be a celebration dinner. He believed he was about to claim half of my $150 million medical device empire, but his confident smile vanished the moment our attorneys explained what the prenuptial agreement actually contained. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. If you want to discover how 18 months of careful legal preparation turned my husband's betrayal into the greatest validation of strategic thinking in my career, comment below, telling me your biggest lesson about protecting yourself in relationships. Hit subscribe and prepare for a story that will transform how you think about preparation, trust, and the power of thinking. 10 steps ahead. The foundation of Sterling Medical Innovations began in the most unlikely place imaginable, the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit of Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where I spent 3 agonizing weeks watching my 7-year-old nephew fight for his life after a devastating car accident. As I sat beside his hospital bed, surrounded by beeping monitors and life support machines, I witnessed firsthand the limitations of existing medical technology and the profound impact those limitations had on families facing their worst nightmare. My background in biomedical engineering from MIT, combined with an MBA from Harvard Business School, had prepared me for a comfortable career in corporate medical device development. However, watching my nephew struggle with outdated monitoring equipment that provided delayed and often inaccurate readings fundamentally changed my perspective on what technology could and should accomplish in critical care situations. The experience ignited a determination to create medical devices that could literally mean the difference between life and death for families like ours. The genesis of my revolutionary patient monitoring system emerged from a simple yet profound observation during those hospital nights. Traditional monitors provided data about patient conditions, but failed to predict deterioration before it became life-threatening. My engineering background allowed me to envision a system that could analyze thousands of data points simultaneously, using advanced algorithms to identify subtle patterns that indicated impending medical crises hours before conventional systems would detect problems. Developing this vision into reality required every resource and connection I possessed. I liquidated my investment portfolio, borrowed against my student loans, and convinced my parents to provide a bridge loan secured by their home. The initial 18 months were characterized by relentless 18-hour workdays spent in a converted garage laboratory, coding predictive algorithms while simultaneously testing hardware prototypes on donated medical equipment. The technical challenges were immense. Creating sensors capable of monitoring multiple vital signs with unprecedented accuracy required advances in materials science, signal processing, and wireless communication technology. The predictive algorithms demanded sophisticated machine learning capabilities that could process vast amounts of physiological data in real time while maintaining the reliability standards essential for life-critical applications. Early progress was frustratingly slow and expensive. Component failures destroyed months of development work, forcing complete redesigns of both hardware and software systems. Regulatory requirements for medical devices created additional complexity, requiring extensive documentation testing protocols that consumed limited resources while delaying product development timelines. The breakthrough that transformed Sterling Medical Innovations from a garage startup into a revolutionary company occurred during our 15th month of development. After countless iterations and refinements, our prototype system successfully predicted cardiac arrest in a laboratory simulation, 47 minutes before conventional monitoring would have detected any irregularity. The implications were staggering. Our technology could provide medical teams with nearly an hour of advance warning to intervene and prevent potentially fatal medical emergencies. Validation of our technology required extensive clinical testing in partnership with leading medical institutions. Convincing hospitals to participate in trials of unproven technology from an unknown startup demanded persistence, credibility, and demonstrable results that exceeded existing standards. I personally visited over 50 hospitals, presenting our technology to chief medical officers, department heads, and clinical staff who ultimately would determine whether our innovations could save lives. The clinical trial results exceeded our most optimistic projections. Our monitoring systems demonstrated the ability to predict medical emergencies, an average of 38 minutes before conventional equipment, with accuracy rates exceeding 92%. Patient outcomes in units using our technology showed measurable improvements in survival rates, reduced complications, and shorter hospital stays compared to facilities using traditional monitoring systems. Word of our clinical success spread rapidly through the medical community, generating demand that far exceeded our initial production capability. Within 6 months of our first successful clinical trial, we had received orders from over 200 hospitals across North America, representing potential revenue exceeding $50 million in our first year of commercial operation. Scaling production to meet demand required significant expansion of our manufacturing capabilities, quality control systems, and regulatory compliance infrastructure. We moved from our garage laboratory to a state-of-the-art facility in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina, establishing manufacturing partnerships with specialized component suppliers, while maintaining strict quality standards essential for medical device production. The company culture we developed emphasized innovation, precision, and unwavering commitment to improving patient outcomes. Every employee understood that our technology directly impacted human lives, creating a sense of purpose and responsibility that drove exceptional performance and continuous improvement. Our mission statement committed us to developing medical technologies that would transform critical care while making advanced monitoring accessible to hospitals regardless of size or resource. By our third year of operations, Sterling Medical Innovations employed over 200 highly skilled engineers, medical professionals, and manufacturing specialists. Our product line had expanded to include specialized monitoring systems for cardiac care, neurological monitoring, and pediatric applications, each incorporating proprietary algorithms that provided predictive capabilities unavailable from any competitor. The financial success of Sterling Medical Innovations reflected the profound impact our technology had on medical practice. Annual revenue reached $60 million by our fourth year, with profit margins exceeding industry standards due to our proprietary technology and strong intellectual property position. The company was valued at over $150 million, with projections suggesting continued growth as healthcare systems worldwide adopted predictive monitoring technology. International expansion became a strategic priority as demand for our technology spread beyond North American market. We established distribution partnerships in Europe, Asia, and Australia, adapting our systems to meet different regulatory requirements while maintaining the core functionality that made our technology revolutionary. Each new market validated our belief that predictive medical monitoring represented the future of critical care. The personal cost of building Sterling Medical Innovations was significant and often overwhelming. 80-hour workweeks left minimal time for relationships, hobbies, or personal interests beyond the company. My social circle consisted primarily of colleagues, industry contacts, and the small group of friends who understood the demands of building a life-saving technology company from nothing. Dating had been sporadic and generally unsuccessful throughout my 20s and early 30s. Most men seemed either intimidated by my professional achievements or primarily interested in the financial benefits of dating a successful entrepreneur. The few serious relationships I had attempted failed due to my intense focus on the company and the emotional energy required to transform revolutionary technology into commercial reality. My family relationships provided essential support and grounding during the most challenging periods of company development. Regular dinners with my parents and siblings offered respite from the constant pressure of managing rapid growth, while maintaining the quality standards essential for medical device manufacture. Their pride in my achievements and understanding of the sacrifices required sustained my determination during particularly difficult periods. The isolation was challenging but seemed temporary. I convinced myself that once Sterling Medical Innovations achieved market leadership and operational stability, I would have more time for personal relationships and outside interests. Building technology that could save lives required sacrifices, and I was willing to make those sacrifices to achieve something truly meaningful. As the company matured, I hired experienced executives to manage finance, operations, and regulatory affairs, allowing me to focus on technology development and strategic planning. Our board of directors included respected medical professionals and successful entrepreneurs who provided valuable guidance while enhancing our credibility with hospitals and regulatory agencies. The medical device industry was evolving rapidly, with new technologies and competitive threats emerging regularly, Maintaining our market leadership required continuous innovation and strategic partnerships with hospitals, medical schools, and research institutions. We formed collaborative relationships with leading medical centers, established research grants for clinical studies, and developed licensing agreements that extended our technology reach while generating additional revenue streams. Industry recognition validated our technological achievements and market impact. Medical journals published studies demonstrating the clinical benefits of our monitoring systems, while professional conferences regularly featured presentations about our innovation. I was invited to speak at medical symposiums worldwide, sharing insights about predictive monitoring technology and its potential to transform patient care. The financial rewards were substantial and personally validating. The company valuation had grown to levels that exceeded my wildest early projections, with my personal net worth reaching heights that seemed impossible when I was coding algorithms in a converted garage. However, the greatest satisfaction came from letters we received from families whose loved ones had survived medical emergencies, because our technology provided early warning that enabled life-saving intervention. Success brought new challenges and responsibilities that required different skills than those needed for technology development or startup management. Leading a company of 200 employees required strategic thinking about organizational culture, talent development, and long-term sustainability that extended far beyond product innovation. Every decision affected not just financial performance, but the livelihoods of families who depended on Sterling Medical Innovations for their income. The pressure was intense, but energizing. Each day presented new problems to solve, opportunities to explore, and ways to advance medical technology that could improve patient outcomes worldwide. I felt as though I was contributing to something larger than personal success, helping to build a future where medical technology could prevent tragedies like the one that had inspired my initial vision. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. The irony was that my greatest strength as an entrepreneur, my unwavering belief in the power of preparation and strategic thinking to overcome obstacles, would soon be tested in ways I never anticipated. The relationship that would challenge everything I believed about trust and partnership was still months away, but the foundation for that challenge was being laid by my own success and the visibility it created. Looking back, I realize I was perhaps overly confident in my ability to identify and manage personal relationships with the same analytical rigor I applied to business challenges. Success had reinforced my belief that careful planning and thorough preparation could protect against any threat, whether technical, financial, or personal. I assumed that anyone who earned my trust had been properly vetted and shared my values about building something meaningful rather than simply extracting maximum personal benefit. That assumption would soon be challenged by someone who understood exactly how to exploit my strengths and blind spots for their own advantage. The relationship that would threaten everything I had built was already forming, though I would not recognize the warning signs until it was almost too late. The man who would attempt to claim half of my life's work was studying my success carefully, developing strategies that would nearly succeed if not for the legal preparation I was about to undertake. The medical device industry was attracting increasing attention from investors, acquirers, and individuals seeking opportunities to benefit from the sector's growth and profitability. Sterling Medical Innovations had become a visible success story, generating interest from people whose motivations extended far beyond advancing medical technology or improving patient outcomes. The visibility that validated our achievements also attracted attention from those who viewed successful companies as opportunities for personal enrichment rather than vehicles for meaningful innovation. My personal life was about to intersect with professional success in ways that would test every assumption I had made about trust, partnership, and the importance of protecting what I had worked to create. The legal preparation that would ultimately save my company was still months away, but the relationship that would necessitate that preparation was already developed. The greatest threat to Sterling Medical Innovations would not come from competitors or market forces, but from someone who would gain my complete trust before attempting to claim half of everything I had built. The foundation I had established seemed solid enough to withstand any challenge, built on proprietary technology, strong market position, and the unwavering commitment to improving patient outcomes that had driven every major decision since our inception. However, I was about to learn that personal relationships could threaten professional achievements in ways that no amount of business planning could prevent, without specific legal protections that I had not yet considered necessary. The story of how careful legal preparation would transform what should have been my greatest personal betrayal into validation of strategic thinking was still unfolding, though the key players were already positioning themselves for the drama that would unfold on what should have been a celebration of another year of life and continued success. The entrance of Alexander Pemberton into my life appeared to be the missing piece I had been searching for without realizing it. Our first meeting occurred at the annual Medical Technology Innovation Summit in Boston, where I was delivering the keynote address on predictive monitoring systems to an audience of over 800 industry leaders, investors, and medical professionals. Following my presentation, which received a standing ovation and generated extensive media coverage, the networking reception provided opportunities to connect with potential partners and discuss collaborative research initiatives. Alexander approached me during the reception with a confidence and sophistication that immediately distinguished him from the typical industry professionals who populated such events. He introduced himself as a partner at Meridian Capital Management, a prestigious private equity firm specializing in healthcare technology investment. His knowledge of sterling medical innovations was impressive and detailed, demonstrating thorough research into our technology, market position, and growth trajectory that extended far beyond superficial familiarity. The conversation that followed was intellectually stimulating and professionally relevant in ways I had rarely experienced at industry gatherings. Alexander possessed deep understanding of healthcare economics, regulatory challenges, and the strategic complexities of scaling medical device companies from innovative startups to market leaders. His questions about our technology were sophisticated and demonstrated genuine appreciation for the engineering challenges we had overcome to create predictive monitoring capabilities. Alexander's background was impeccable and carefully crafted to appeal to someone in my position. He held an MBA from Stanford Graduate School of Business, where he had concentrated on healthcare finance and strategic management. His undergraduate degree was from Princeton University, where he had studied economics and biomedical engineering, providing technical foundation that enabled meaningful discussions about our innovation. Prior to joining Meridian Capital Management, he had worked as an investment banker at Goldman Sachs, specializing in healthcare mergers and acquisitions. His professional credentials were complemented by personal interests that suggested depth and cultural sophistication. Alexander was an accomplished classical pianist who performed regularly with chamber music groups in New York and Boston. He spoke fluent French and Spanish, having spent summers during college working with medical charities in developing countries. His passion for art collection focused on contemporary works by emerging artists, demonstrating both aesthetic sensibility and investment acumen. The initial attraction was intellectual and professional rather than purely romantic. Alexander understood the complexities of building and scaling technology companies in ways that few people in my personal life could appreciate. Our conversations during that first evening covered topics ranging from FDA regulatory strategies to international market expansion, from intellectual property protection to organizational culture development in rapidly growing companies. Alexander's interest in sterling medical innovations appeared to be both professional and personal. He expressed admiration for the mission-driven approach we had taken to medical device development, emphasizing how rare it was to find companies that successfully balanced commercial success with meaningful impact on patient outcomes. His questions about our technology were detailed and demonstrated genuine understanding of the clinical benefits our monitoring systems provide. The courtship that followed was sophisticated and methodical, reflecting Alexander's understanding of what would appeal to someone with my background and priorities. Rather than typical romantic gestures, he arranged experiences that combined personal enjoyment with professional development. Our second meeting was at a private dinner with Dr. Elena Vasquez, a renowned cardiologist from Johns Hopkins who was conducting research using our monitoring technology in cardiac intensive care units. Alexander had arranged this dinner as an opportunity for me to discuss potential research collaborations while enjoying an evening at one of Boston's most exclusive restaurants. The conversation was professionally stimulating and personally enjoyable, demonstrating Alexander's ability to create situations that appealed to my interests in advancing medical technology while providing opportunities for deeper personal connection. His approach to building our relationship was strategic and thoughtful, always positioning himself as supportive of my professional goals while gradually becoming more essential to my personal happiness. Alexander attended industry conferences where I was speaking, introducing me to potential partners and investors from his extensive network. He provided valuable insights about private equity perspectives on medical device companies, helping me understand how investors evaluated opportunities in our sector. The geographic challenge of maintaining a relationship between North Carolina and New York was managed through Alexander's willingness to travel frequently and his creative solutions for quality time together. He purchased a condominium in Durham specifically to be closer to Sterling Medical Innovations, claiming that Research Triangle Park represented an important investment opportunity for his firm. This gesture seemed to demonstrate serious commitment to our relationship and confidence in the region's technology sector. Alexander's integration into my personal life was gradual but comprehensive. He developed genuine friendships with my parents and siblings, demonstrating respect for my family relationships and understanding of their importance in my life. His interactions with my mother were particularly skillful, as he showed authentic interest in her career as a pediatric nurse and her perspectives on healthcare technology from a clinical standpoint. His relationship with my father was built on shared interests in engineering and entrepreneurship. Alexander asked thoughtful questions about the technical challenges of scaling manufacturing operations and demonstrated genuine respect for the operational expertise that had enabled Sterling Medical Innovations to grow from startup to market leader. These family connections seemed authentic and created additional foundation for trusting his intentions. The professional aspects of our relationship proved particularly valuable during a critical period when Sterling Medical Innovations was considering strategic options for accelerated growth. Alexander provided insights about private equity partnerships, acquisition strategies, and public offering considerations that helped inform important decisions about our company's future. His financial expertise complemented my technical background in ways that seemed genuinely beneficial for strategic planning. Alexander's network of contacts in healthcare finance proved valuable for expanding our business development effort. He introduced me to potential board members, strategic partners, and key opinion leaders who could advance our mission of improving patient outcomes through predictive monitoring technology. These introductions appeared to be motivated by genuine support for our company's success rather than personal agenda. The relationship progression felt natural and appropriate given our shared professional interests and compatible personal values. Alexander demonstrated understanding of the demands of building a technology company and respect for the time and energy required to maintain our competitive position. He never pressured me to reduce professional commitments or suggested that personal relationships should take priority over advancing medical technology that could save lives. His financial independence eliminated concerns about gold digging or opportunistic motivations that had complicated previous relationships. Alexander's success at Meridian Capital Management was well documented and independently verifiable, providing confidence that his interest in me was personal rather than financial. His lifestyle and spending patterns reflected someone with substantial independent wealth who needed nothing from my success except genuine partnership. The intellectual compatibility that characterized our relationship was particularly satisfying after years of dating men who seemed intimidated by my professional achievements or unable to engage meaningfully with the technical aspects of my work. Alexander could discuss clinical trial methodology, regulatory strategy, and competitive positioning with sophistication that made our conversations stimulating and valuable for strategic thinking about Sterling Medical Innovation. Cultural compatibility added additional dimension to our relationship. Alexander's appreciation for classical music, fine dining, and international travel created opportunities for shared experiences that expanded my horizons beyond the intensive focus on work that had characterized my life for years. His knowledge of art and literature provided intellectual stimulation that complemented our professional discussions, The decision to introduce Alexander to our board of directors reflected my confidence in his expertise and judgment. During board meetings where strategic planning was discussed, his insights about healthcare finance and private equity perspectives provided valuable context for important decisions. Several board members privately expressed appreciation for his contributions and suggested that his involvement enhanced our strategic planning capability. Alexander's understanding of my personal history and the sacrifices required to build Sterling Medical Innovations seemed genuine and thoughtful. He never questioned the long hours or intense focus that had been necessary to transform innovative technology into commercial success. Instead, he expressed admiration for the determination and vision required to create something meaningful from nothing. The gradual expansion of Alexander's influence in my personal and professional life felt organic and beneficial rather than calculated or manipulative. His presence at industry events enhanced my networking effectiveness. His financial insights improved our strategic planning, and his personal support provided emotional stability during particularly challenging periods of company growth. Alexander's approach to physical intimacy was respectful and patient, allowing our relationship to develop naturally without pressure or expectations that might compromise professional focus. He understood that building a revolutionary medical device company required enormous energy and attention, demonstrating willingness to accommodate the demands of my professional responsibilities. The integration of our social circles created additional foundation for the relation. Alexander developed genuine friendships with key members of my team at Sterling Medical Innovations, including our Chief Technology Officer and Chief Financial Officer. His ability to engage meaningfully with technical experts and business professionals demonstrated versatility and social skills that enhanced our shared social experiences. His investment in learning about medical device technology went beyond superficial familiarity. Alexander read clinical studies about predictive monitoring, attended medical conferences to understand industry trends, and engaged in detailed discussions about regulatory challenges facing medical device companies. This intellectual investment in understanding my professional world seemed to reflect genuine interest rather than obligatory support. The timing of our relationship coincided with a period when Sterling Medical Innovations was receiving increased attention from potential acquirers and strategic partners. Alexander's expertise in healthcare finance proved valuable for evaluating opportunities and understanding the strategic implications of various partnership structures. His perspectives helped inform decisions about maintaining independence versus exploring collaborative arrangements that could accelerate growth. Alexander's personal wealth and lifestyle choices demonstrated financial independence that eliminated concerns about opportunistic motivation. His condominium in Durham was furnished with expensive art and high-end electronics that reflected someone accustomed to luxury and financial success. His travel patterns and entertainment choices suggested substantial discretionary income that required no supplementation from external sources. The professional network effects of our relationship created valuable opportunities for Sterling Medical Innovation. Through Alexander's connections, we gained access to potential investors, strategic partners, and industry experts who could advance our mission of improving patient outcomes through predictive monitoring technology. These network benefits seemed to flow naturally from his genuine support for our company's success. The emotional foundation of our relationship was built on shared values about the importance of using professional success to create meaningful impact. Alexander expressed genuine admiration for the mission-driven approach that had guided Sterling Medical Innovations from inception through market leadership. His respect for the sacrifices required to build something meaningful seemed authentic and thoughtfully considered. Looking back, Alexander's systematic approach to building trust and influence was masterfully executed, and nearly impossible to detect as anything other than genuine attraction and professional compatibility. His credentials were impeccable, his financial independence was documented, and his support for my professional goals seemed authentic and valuable. The foundation he established for claiming half of my life's work was built through months of careful relationship development that created complete trust and emotional investment. The warning signs that might have revealed his true intentions were subtle and easily explained by his professional background and personal sophistication. His detailed knowledge of Sterling Medical Innovations could be attributed to professional due diligence. His strategic questions about company valuation and ownership structure seemed like natural curiosity from someone with private equity expertise. His gradual integration into all aspects of my life appeared to reflect genuine commitment, rather than calculated positioning. The stage was being set for a betrayal that would threaten everything I had worked to build, but the preparation was so sophisticated and the relationship foundation so carefully constructed that suspicion seemed not only unwarranted, but ungrateful for the support and partnership Alexander appeared to provide. The legal preparation that would ultimately protect my company was still months away, but the relationship that would necessitate that protection was developing exactly as Alexander had planned from our first meeting in Boston. The transformation of my relationship with Alexander from personal partnership to comprehensive life integration occurred during what became the most pivotal 18 months in Sterling Medical Innovations' corporate history. Our company had achieved breakthrough recognition when the American Medical Association published a landmark study demonstrating that hospitals using our predictive monitoring systems experienced 43% fewer preventable deaths and 67% reduction in medical malpractice claims. This validation from the medical establishment triggered an unprecedented surge of interest from healthcare systems worldwide. The implications of this recognition extended far beyond financial metrics, though the commercial impact was substantial. Within 6 months of the AMA publication, our sales pipeline expanded to include orders worth over $200 million from hospital networks across North America, Europe, and Asia. Major healthcare systems that had previously been conservative about adopting new technology were now competing to implement our monitoring solutions first. Recognizing that patient outcomes and liability reduction represented compelling value proposition, Alexander's expertise in healthcare finance proved invaluable during this period of explosive growth. His understanding of hospital procurement processes, healthcare economics, and medical technology valuation provided strategic insights that enabled optimal decision-making about expansion priorities and resource allocation. His network of contacts in healthcare investment banking facilitated introductions to potential strategic partners who could accelerate our international expansion while maintaining the quality standards essential for medical device manufacture. The complexity of managing rapid international growth while maintaining regulatory compliance across multiple jurisdictions created challenges that exceeded my experience in startup operations. Alexander volunteered to lead strategic planning initiatives, leveraging his private equity background to develop comprehensive frameworks for market entry, partnership evaluation, and competitive positioning. His contributions appeared to be motivated by genuine support for our mission, while providing valuable professional development for his own healthcare investment expertise. Our personal relationship deepened in parallel with these professional collaborations. Alexander demonstrated remarkable understanding of the pressures associated with scaling a medical technology company from regional success to global market leadership. His emotional support during particularly stressful periods of regulatory reviews and competitive challenges provided stability that enhanced my ability to maintain strategic focus during critical decision-making processes. The decision to relocate Alexander's primary residence from New York to Durham reflected his commitment to our relationship and confidence in Research Triangle Park as a center for healthcare innovation. His purchase of a contemporary home in an exclusive neighborhood, near the Sterling Medical Innovations headquarters, suggested long-term intentions that aligned with my own vision for personal and professional integration. The property featured a sophisticated home office where Alexander could manage his investment responsibilities while remaining geographically close to support our company's strategic initiative. Alexander's integration into the leadership culture at Sterling Medical Innovations occurred gradually and appeared to benefit both our organizational effectiveness and his professional development in healthcare investment. His attendance at executive team meetings provided private equity perspectives on strategic planning that enhanced our decision-making capability. His financial modeling expertise proved particularly valuable for evaluating acquisition opportunities and partnership structures that could accelerate our technology development timeline. The board of directors at Sterling Medical Innovations expressed increasing appreciation for Alexander's contributions to strategic planning processes. His presentations on healthcare market dynamics and investment trends provided context that enhanced board discussions about long-term competitive position. Several board members privately suggested that Alexander's involvement represented exactly the type of external expertise that growing technology companies needed to navigate complex strategic decisions effectively. During this period, Sterling Medical Innovations faced a series of strategic decisions that would fundamentally determine our competitive position for the following decade. Three major medical device corporations had expressed interest in acquiring our company for valuations ranging from $300 to $500 million. Simultaneously, several venture capital firms were proposing minority investments that would provide growth capital while maintaining our independence and allowing continued expansion of our market leadership. Alexander's analysis of these strategic alternatives was comprehensive and appeared to prioritize maximizing long-term value creation while preserving the mission-driven culture that had characterized Sterling Medical Innovations since inception. His financial modeling demonstrated how different partnership structures would impact our ability to advance medical technology development while achieving optimal returns for stakeholders. His recommendations consistently emphasized maintaining strategic control while accessing resources necessary for accelerated growth. The evaluation process for these strategic alternatives required extensive due diligence that consumed significant management time and attention. Alexander volunteered to coordinate due diligence activities, leveraging his investment banking experience to manage information requests and facilitate productive discussions with potential partners. His involvement allowed me to maintain focus on technology development and clinical relationships, while ensuring that strategic evaluation processes received appropriate attention and professional management. Alexander's handling of due diligence processes was sophisticated and demonstrated deep understanding of both medical device industry dynamics and healthcare investment consideration. His preparation of comprehensive information packages for potential partners showcased Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive advantages, while protecting proprietary technology details that represented core intellectual property. His management of investor presentations and strategic discussions appeared to optimize our negotiating position while maintaining productive relationships with all parties. The private equity perspective that Alexander brought to strategic planning proved particularly valuable for understanding how different partnership structures would impact our ability to pursue long-term research and development initiatives. His analysis demonstrated how maintaining majority control through minority investment partnerships could provide growth capital while preserving our ability to prioritize patient outcomes over short-term financial optimization. These insights influenced our ultimate decision to pursue venture capital partnership rather than acquisition alternative. Alexander's involvement in strategic planning extended beyond financial analysis to include operational considerations that would determine implementation success for any partnership structure. His evaluation of potential partners included assessment of cultural compatibility, strategic vision alignment, and commitment to supporting mission-driven technology development. His due diligence processes appeared designed to identify partners who would enhance rather than compromise our organizational effectiveness and innovation capability. The personal dimension of our relationship provided emotional foundation that enabled effective professional collaboration during this intensely demanding period. Alexander's understanding of the psychological pressures associated with evaluating strategic alternatives that could determine the future direction of our life's work demonstrated empathy and emotional intelligence that enhanced our personal connection. His support during particularly difficult decision-making processes reflected genuine partnership rather than opportunistic position. Our social integration during this period included regular entertainment of industry colleagues, potential partners, and board members at Alexander's during residence. These gatherings provided opportunities for informal relationship building that enhanced our strategic discussions, while creating personal connections that facilitated productive business relations. Alexander's sophistication as a host and his ability to create comfortable environments for complex professional discussions contributed significantly to successful partnership negotiation. The lifestyle that Alexander maintained reflected financial success and cultural sophistication that complemented the elevated profile Sterling Medical Innovations had achieved within the medical technology industry. His art collection, classical music performances, and international travel created opportunities for shared experiences that expanded my personal horizons, while providing network effects that benefited our company's strategic position. These lifestyle elements appeared to reflect genuine interests rather than calculated image management. Alexander's professional network proved particularly valuable during international expansion planning processes. His contacts in European and Asian healthcare investment communities facilitated introductions to potential distribution partners, regulatory consultants, and strategic advisors who could accelerate our market entry timelines while ensuring compliance with diverse international requirements. These network effects created substantial value for Sterling Medical Innovations, while enhancing Alexander's own professional development in global healthcare investing. The regulatory challenges associated with international expansion required expertise that exceeded our internal capability. Alexander coordinated engagement with specialized consulting firms that could navigate FDA, European Medicines Agency, and Asian regulatory requirements for medical device approval. His project management of these regulatory initiatives ensured that compliance activities proceeded efficiently while minimizing disruption to our domestic operations and technology development priorities. During board meetings where international expansion strategies were evaluated, Alexander's presentations on global healthcare markets provided comprehensive analysis that enhanced strategic decision-making. His research on competitive positioning, market entry barriers, and partnership opportunities demonstrated thorough preparation and sophisticated understanding of healthcare industry dynamics. Board members consistently praised his analytical capabilities and strategic insights as valuable additions to our planning processes. The financial complexity of international expansion required careful evaluation of funding requirements, currency exposure, and partnership structures that could optimize capital efficiency while maintaining strategic control. Alexander's financial modeling provided comprehensive analysis of different expansion scenarios, enabling informed decision-making about resource allocation and timeline priority. His expertise in international finance proved essential for structuring partnerships that would support sustainable growth while minimizing financial risk. Alexander's involvement in technology strategy discussions reflected genuine interest in understanding the clinical applications and development priorities that would determine our long-term competitive position. His questions about research and development timelines, intellectual property protection, and clinical trial planning demonstrated sophisticated appreciation for the complexities of medical device innovation. His contributions to technology strategy appeared motivated by authentic commitment to advancing patient care through predictive monitoring capability. The integration of our personal and professional lives reached levels that reflected genuine partnership and shared commitment to building something meaningful together. Alexander's presence at industry conferences, where I delivered presentations, enhanced our networking effectiveness while providing opportunities for strategic discussions with potential partners and collaborators. His support during media interviews and public speaking engagements demonstrated understanding of the public responsibilities that accompanied leadership of a prominent medical technology company. Alexander's financial contributions to our shared lifestyle reflected his independent wealth, while demonstrating commitment to building a life together that matched our combined professional success. His willingness to invest in property, art, and experiences that we could enjoy together suggested long-term intentions that aligned with my own vision for personal happiness, integrated with professional achievement. These investments appeared to reflect genuine relationship building rather than calculated positioning for future advantage. The strategic planning processes that Alexander led resulted in comprehensive frameworks for evaluating partnership opportunities, competitive threats, and growth priorities that enhanced our organizational effectiveness. His development of systematic approaches to due diligence, financial analysis, and risk assessment provided management tools that improved our decision-making capabilities across multiple functional areas. These contributions appeared to create lasting value for Sterling Medical Innovations, while advancing Alexander's own expertise in healthcare technology investing. The emotional foundation of our relationship during this period was characterized by mutual respect, intellectual compatibility, and shared commitment to using professional success for meaningful impact on healthcare outcomes. Alexander's admiration for the mission-driven approach that had guided Sterling Medical Innovations appeared authentic and thoughtfully considered. His respect for the sacrifices required to build revolutionary technology seemed genuine and enhanced our personal connection during this demanding but rewarding period of growth. Looking back, the strategic positioning that Alexander achieved during this period was masterfully executed and created complete integration into every aspect of my personal and professional life. His contributions appeared genuinely valuable and motivated by authentic support for our shared success. The foundation he established for claiming half of everything I had built was constructed through months of demonstrating expertise, providing value, and building trust that seemed entirely justified by his contributions and commitment. The warning signs that might have revealed calculated positioning were invisible during this period of genuine collaboration and mutual benefit. Alexander's strategic insights enhanced our competitive position, his network facilitated valuable partnerships, and his personal support provided emotional stability during challenging decisions. The legal preparation that would ultimately protect my life's work was still months away, but the relationship foundation that would necessitate such protection was now completely established through seemingly authentic partnership and shared success. The period leading to our engagement represented the convergence of professional triumph and personal fulfillment that seemed to validate every sacrifice I had made throughout my career. Sterling Medical Innovations had achieved recognition as the preeminent innovator in predictive medical monitoring technology, with our systems now operational in over 1,500 hospitals across 4 continents. The company valuation had reached $400 million, supported by revenue projections exceeding $150 million annually and profit margins that reflected our proprietary technology advantage. The engagement itself occurred during what Alexander orchestrated as a perfect romantic gesture that demonstrated his understanding of my values and priorities. Rather than a traditional proposal, he arranged for us to visit the pediatric intensive care unit at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where my original inspiration for predictive monitoring had developed. Working with the hospital administration, he had coordinated a ceremony recognizing Sterling Medical Innovations' contribution to pediatric critical care, during which the hospital unveiled a new monitoring system that bore my name. Following the hospital ceremony, Alexander proposed marriage in the same family waiting room where I had spent those agonizing weeks, watching my nephew fight for his life. His proposal speech acknowledged how that experience had shaped my determination to create technology that could prevent other families from experiencing similar trauma. He expressed admiration for the courage and vision required to transform personal tragedy into medical innovation that was saving lives worldwide. The emotional resonance of that moment and location created a proposal that felt meaningful rather than merely romantic. The engagement ring Alexander presented reflected sophisticated understanding of my preferences and values. Rather than a traditional diamond, he had commissioned a custom design featuring a rare blue sapphire surrounded by smaller stones, arranged to represent the constellation visible on the night of my nephew's surgery. The design incorporated subtle technological elements that referenced my engineering background while maintaining elegance appropriate for business and social occasions. The personalization demonstrated thoughtfulness and attention to detail that seemed to reflect genuine understanding of my personality and priorities. Wedding planning became an extension of our professional collaboration, with Alexander applying the same strategic thinking and organizational skills that had proven valuable for Sterling Medical Innovations' expansion. His approach to vendor selection, timeline management, and guest coordination reflected systematic planning that ensured our celebration would reflect our shared values, while accommodating the complex schedules of industry colleagues and family members who would attend from multiple continents. The guest list for our wedding represented a comprehensive network of medical professionals, technology leaders, investors, and family members, whose relationships had been instrumental in both our personal and professional development. Alexander's ability to coordinate with diverse stakeholder groups while maintaining focus on creating a meaningful celebration demonstrated project management capabilities that enhanced my appreciation for his organizational effectiveness and attention to detail. Alexander's insistence on comprehensive estate planning and legal documentation prior to our marriage initially seemed like prudent financial management, reflecting his investment banking background. His explanations about asset protection, tax optimization, and succession planning appeared to be motivated by sophisticated understanding of wealth management strategies appropriate for high-net-worth individuals. His recommendations for legal counsel emphasized selecting attorneys with expertise in healthcare technology and intellectual property law. The prenuptial agreement negotiations that Alexander initiated represented what appeared to be standard practice for individuals with substantial independent assets entering marriage. His approach to these discussions emphasized protecting both parties' premarital wealth while establishing frameworks for shared financial decisions during marriage. His legal team prepared comprehensive documentation that addressed intellectual property rights, business ownership structures, and inheritance considerations with thoroughness that reflected sophisticated estate planning. During prenuptial agreement discussion, Alexander demonstrated detailed knowledge of Sterling Medical Innovations' corporate structure, intellectual property portfolio, and financial projections that seemed appropriate given our personal relationship and his professional expertise in healthcare investing. His questions about company valuation methodologies, patent protection strategies, and succession planning appeared to reflect genuine interest in understanding assets that would become part of our shared financial future. The complexity of prenuptial agreement negotiations required extensive legal review and financial analysis that consumed significant time and attention during an already demanding period of wedding planning and business management. Alexander's coordination of legal processes and his patience with detailed documentation requirements demonstrated commitment to ensuring comprehensive protection for both parties' interests. His approach to these negotiations appeared collaborative and transparent rather than adversarial or manipulative. Alexander's legal team recommended specific provisions within the prenuptial agreement that addressed scenarios, including business sale, intellectual property license, and inheritance distribution with detail that reflected sophisticated understanding of wealth management considerations for technology. Their documentation included comprehensive definitions of separate property, marital property, and intellectual property rights that appeared designed to provide clarity and protection for both parties under various future circumstances. The prenuptial agreement that emerged from these negotiations contained provisions that initially seemed straightforward and mutually beneficial. Alexander's separate property would remain protected, as would my ownership of Sterling Medical Innovations and related intellectual property developed prior to marriage. The agreement included specific language addressing business appreciation during marriage, with provisions that appeared to protect both parties' interests while providing flexibility for future strategic decisions about company growth and development. Hidden within the comprehensive legal documentation were clauses that would later prove crucial for protecting my life's work from Alexander's true intention. My attorney Sarah Chen had insisted on specific language regarding intellectual property developed through personal innovation versus collaborative effort. She had also included provisions that distinguished between passive appreciation of premarital assets and active contributions that might justify shared ownership claims. These protective measures seemed like standard legal precautions rather than prescient defense against betrayal. The wedding ceremony itself reflected our shared values about using success for meaningful impact while celebrating the personal partnership that had enhanced both our professional and personal development. Rather than traditional vows, we exchanged commitments that acknowledged our dedication to advancing medical technology while building a life together that would support continued innovation and social contribution. The ceremony location at a historic venue in Research Triangle Park symbolized our commitment to remaining connected to the community where Sterling Medical Innovations had developed and thrived. Alexander's wedding preparations included arrangements for extended honeymoon travel that would combine personal enjoyment with professional development opportunity. His planning incorporated visits to medical technology conferences in Europe and Asia, allowing us to combine romantic travel with business development initiatives that could advance Sterling Medical Innovations' international expansion. This integration of personal and professional priorities demonstrated understanding of my commitment to the company while providing opportunities for shared experiences in new environments. The honeymoon period represented a brief respite from the intensive demands of managing rapid company growth while navigating complex strategic decisions about partnership opportunities and competitive position. Alexander's planning had created opportunities for relaxation and personal connection while maintaining engagement with professional responsibilities through scheduled conference calls and strategic planning sessions that could be conducted remotely without compromising our travel experience. During our honeymoon travels, Alexander demonstrated genuine interest in learning about international healthcare systems and medical technology adoption patterns that could inform Sterling Medical Innovations' expansion strategy. His conversations with medical professionals in various countries provided insights about regulatory requirements, competitive dynamics, and market opportunities that enhanced our understanding of global healthcare technology trends and strategic positioning consideration. The return from honeymoon marked the beginning of married life that initially seemed to represent optimal integration of personal happiness with professional achievement. Alexander's presence in our shared home provided emotional stability and intellectual companionship that enhanced my ability to maintain strategic focus during particularly demanding periods of business development. His understanding of healthcare industry dynamics continued to prove valuable for strategic planning and competitive analysis. Alexander's integration into Sterling Medical Innovations' corporate culture reached new levels following our marriage. His attendance at board meetings as an observer provided private equity perspectives that enhanced strategic discussions about growth opportunities, competitive threats, and operational efficiency initiatives. His financial expertise proved particularly valuable for evaluating acquisition opportunities and partnership structures that could accelerate technology development while maintaining strategic control. The financial integration of our households required coordination between his investment portfolio management and Sterling Medical Innovations' corporate finance activity. Alexander's expertise in wealth management and tax planning provided optimization strategies that enhanced our combined financial efficiency while maintaining appropriate separation between personal assets and business operations. His systematic approach to financial coordination appeared to reflect sophisticated understanding of wealth management for high net worth individuals. Alexander's expanded access to Sterling Medical Innovations' strategic planning processes included participation in confidential discussions about research and development priorities, intellectual property strategy, and competitive positioning initiatives. His contributions to these discussions demonstrated growing expertise in medical technology markets while providing valuable external perspectives on strategic. His involvement appeared to enhance our organizational effectiveness while advancing his own professional development in healthcare investing. The business development opportunities that Alexander identified through his network continued to provide value for Sterling Medical Innovations' expansion initiative. His introductions to potential strategic partners, distributors, and regulatory consultants facilitated market entry processes while ensuring compliance with diverse international requirements. These network effects created substantial value for our company while enhancing Alexander's reputation within healthcare investment communities. Alexander's influence on strategic decision-making processes grew systematically during our first year of marriage. His recommendations about partnership opportunities, acquisition targets, and competitive responses were increasingly influential in board discussions and executive team planning sessions. His financial modeling and strategic analysis capabilities provided frameworks that enhanced our decision-making effectiveness while maintaining focus on long-term value creation and mission-driven innovation. The lifestyle adjustments that accompanied our marriage reflected Alexander's sophisticated understanding of social positioning appropriate for leadership of a prominent medical technology company. His guidance on entertainment, charitable giving, and community involvement enhanced our effectiveness in relationship building, while maintaining authenticity and connection to the mission-driven values that had guided Sterling Medical Innovations since inception. During this period of apparent marital happiness and professional collaboration, Alexander was systematically documenting every aspect of Sterling Medical Innovations' operations, financial performance, and strategic planning. His access to confidential information expanded continuously as his integration into company leadership deepened. His questions about intellectual property valuation, market positioning, and competitive advantages appeared to reflect genuine interest in understanding assets that were now part of our shared financial future. The sophistication of Alexander's information gathering was invisible during this period of genuine collaboration and mutual benefit. His expertise contributed meaningfully to our strategic effectiveness, while his personal support enhanced my ability to maintain leadership focus during complex business challenges. The foundation he was establishing for claiming half of my life's work was constructed through systematic documentation of assets, operations, and strategic advantages that appeared entirely appropriate given his role as my spouse and strategic advisor. The warning signs that might have revealed calculated positioning remained hidden beneath layers of genuine value creation and authentic personal partnership. Alexander's contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations appeared motivated by shared commitment to advancing medical technology while building wealth through strategic collaboration. The legal protections embedded within our prenuptial agreement represented the only defense against the betrayal that Alexander was methodically planning, though neither of us yet understood how crucial those protective measures would prove to be. The stage was now completely set for the most devastating personal betrayal of my life, though Alexander's systematic preparation had been so skillfully executed that suspicion seemed impossible to justify given the apparent authenticity of our partnership and the genuine value his involvement had created for both my personal happiness and professional success. The morning of my 34th birthday began with what appeared to be Alexander's most thoughtful gesture yet, a surprise breakfast delivery from my favorite French patisserie, accompanied by a handwritten note expressing gratitude for our 18 months of marriage and excitement about celebrating another year of my life and continued success with Sterling Medical Innovation. The note referenced specific achievements from the past year and included personal observations about my growth as both a leader and a partner that demonstrated the attention and appreciation I had come to expect from our relationship. Alexander had arranged for the day to unfold as a careful balance between personal celebration and professional recognition, beginning with a morning visit to our latest clinical research facility, where breakthrough developments in pediatric monitoring applications were being tested. His coordination with our research team had created an opportunity for me to witness firsthand the latest advances in technology that could save children's lives, connecting my birthday celebration with the mission-driven purpose that had always motivated my work. The research facility visit provided profound emotional satisfaction as I observed our newest monitoring systems being calibrated for use in neonatal intensive care units. The technology represented years of development work that had refined our predictive algorithms to detect medical emergencies in premature infants with accuracy rates exceeding 96%. Witnessing this application of our innovations to protecting the most vulnerable patients reinforced my sense of purpose and the meaningful impact that Sterling Medical Innovations continued to achieve. Alexander's presence during the facility tour demonstrated his continued engagement with our technology development and his understanding of the clinical applications that drove our innovation priority. His questions about implementation timelines and regulatory approval processes appeared to reflect genuine interest in advancing pediatric care, while supporting my professional fulfillment through meaningful birthday activities that honored both personal celebration and mission-driven achievement. The afternoon schedule included a surprise visit from my parents and siblings, who had traveled from Philadelphia to join our birthday celebration. Alexander had coordinated their travel arrangements and accommodations with characteristic attention to detail, ensuring that family time would be integrated seamlessly with professional activities and social celebrations planned for the evening. His thoughtfulness in bringing together the people most important to my personal happiness demonstrated understanding of my values and relationship priority. Family conversations during the afternoon centered on reflections about Sterling Medical Innovations' continued growth and the positive impact our technology was having on patient outcomes worldwide. My parents expressed pride in the recognition our company had received from medical associations in the expansion of our monitoring systems to pediatric applications that could protect children like my nephew, who had inspired the original innovation. These discussions reinforced the personal meaning that had always motivated my professional dedication. Alexander participated in family conversations with the same sophisticated engagement that had characterized his relationships with my parents since our early courtship. His genuine interest in their perspectives on healthcare technology and his respectful questions about their own professional experiences demonstrated the social skills and emotional intelligence that had made him such an effective partner in both personal and professional contact. The transition from family time to evening celebration occurred when Alexander suggested that we prepare for dinner at Lumiere, the most exclusive French restaurant in Research Triangle Park, where he had arranged a private dining room for an intimate birthday celebration. His selection of this particular venue reflected understanding of my preferences for sophisticated dining experiences that provided opportunities for meaningful conversation away from the distractions of more casual social environment. The drive to Lumiere provided time for reflection on the extraordinary year that Sterling Medical Innovations had experienced and the personal happiness that marriage to Alexander had brought to my life. Our conversation during the drive covered professional achievements, family relationships, and shared goals for the coming year that demonstrated the intellectual and emotional compatibility that had made our partnership so fulfilling and productive. Alexander's demeanor during the drive seemed slightly different from his usual relaxed confidence, though I attributed any tension to his desire to ensure that birthday celebrations proceeded perfectly according to his careful planning. His commitment to creating meaningful experiences had always involved meticulous preparation, and I assumed that any nervousness reflected his investment in making the evening memorable and enjoyable. The private dining room at Lumiere had been prepared with elegant floral arrangements and candlelit ambiance that created an intimate atmosphere appropriate for personal celebration and romantic conversation. Alexander had arranged for a customized menu featuring dishes that reflected my culinary preferences while incorporating wines that complemented both the meal and the celebratory nature of the occasion. The attention to detail demonstrated the same systematic planning that characterized his approach to all significant events. Dinner conversation initially focused on positive reflections about our marriage and shared achievements during the past year. Alexander expressed appreciation for the ways our partnership had enhanced both our personal happiness and professional effectiveness. His observations about my growth as a leader and his admiration for Sterling Medical Innovations' continued innovation appeared genuine and thoughtfully considered, reinforcing the emotional foundation that had made our relationship so satisfying. As the evening progressed, Alexander's conversation gradually shifted toward topics that seemed slightly out of character for a birthday celebration. His questions about company valuation methodologies and intellectual property protection strategies appeared to reflect unusual focus on financial considerations, rather than personal or romantic topics, more appropriate for the occasion. His inquiries about board composition and strategic planning processes seemed oddly timed for a celebratory dinner. The transition from dinner to what Alexander described as a special surprise occurred when he suggested that we move to the restaurant's private terrace for champagne and birthday cake. His presentation of this transition seemed slightly forced, lacking the natural confidence that typically characterized his social interaction. His explanation that the terrace would provide privacy for a meaningful birthday surprise created anticipation that something significant was about to occur. The private terrace overlooked the city lights of Research Triangle Park, creating a romantic setting that should have enhanced the celebratory atmosphere of the evening. Alexander's behavior on the terrace seemed increasingly tense, though he maintained his characteristic charm and attention to creating a perfect experience. His movements appeared slightly rehearsed, as though he was following a predetermined script rather than responding naturally to the moment. Alexander's birthday surprise began with what appeared to be another thoughtful gesture, the presentation of a custom leather portfolio containing what he described as documentation of our shared achievements during our marriage. His explanation of the portfolio's contents suggested that it represented a comprehensive record of our partnership's impact on both Sterling Medical Innovations' success and our personal growth as a couple. The opening of the portfolio revealed documents that initially appeared to be professionally prepared summaries of company performance metrics and strategic achievements from the past 18 months. Alexander's presentation of these materials emphasized the collaborative nature of our success and the ways our partnership had enhanced both professional effectiveness and personal fulfillment. His commentary on specific achievements appeared designed to reinforce appreciation for our shared accomplishments. As I reviewed the documents more carefully, their true nature became apparent with devastating clarity. The portfolio contained comprehensive legal documentation for divorce proceedings that Alexander had been preparing systematically throughout our marriage. The papers included detailed financial analysis of Sterling Medical Innovations' assets, intellectual property valuations, and strategic assessments that reflected months of systematic information gathering and legal preparation. The divorce petition that formed the centerpiece of the documentation claimed substantial marital interest in Sterling Medical Innovations, based on Alexander's strategic contributions during our marriage and the company's growth during our time together. His legal arguments emphasized his role in strategic planning, business development, and operational optimization that enhanced company valuation and market position. The sophistication of these claims reflected extensive legal preparation and detailed understanding of our business operation. The financial analysis contained within the divorce documentation demonstrated Alexander's systematic collection of proprietary information about Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive advantages, intellectual property portfolio, and strategic position. His legal team had prepared comprehensive valuations that claimed marital interest in assets, ranging from patent rights to customer relationships, from operational processes to strategic partnerships that had been developed during our marriage. The timing of Alexander's divorce filing on my birthday appeared to be calculated for maximum psychological impact while creating optimal legal positioning for his claims against Sterling Medical Innovation. His legal strategy emphasized the contrast between my premarital business achievements and the supposedly collaborative success achieved during our marriage under his strategic guidance and partnership. Alexander's demeanor during the presentation of divorce documents revealed the calculating personality that had been hidden beneath months of sophisticated charm and apparent partnership. His explanation of the legal proceedings emphasized his entitlement to substantial compensation for contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations' success, while dismissing my role as founder and primary innovator as merely technical execution of collaborative strategic vision. The realization that 18 months of marriage had been an elaborate deception designed to position Alexander for maximum financial benefit from divorce proceedings created emotional shock that was difficult to process immediately. The man who had shared my bed, my business strategies, and my personal confidences had been systematically documenting assets and planning betrayal while maintaining perfect facade of loving partnership and professional collaboration. Alexander's confidence during the divorce presentation reflected his belief that his systematic information gathering and strategic positioning had created an unassailable legal foundation for claiming substantial ownership interest in Sterling Medical Innovation. His legal arguments appeared sophisticated and comprehensive, supported by detailed documentation of his involvement in strategic planning and business development activities that had occurred throughout our marriage. The most painful aspect of Alexander's betrayal was recognizing how thoroughly he had exploited my trust and professional openness to gather intelligence that would support his legal claims. Every strategic discussion, every board meeting he had attended, every confidential conversation about company operations, had been systematically documented and prepared for use in divorce proceedings designed to transfer ownership of my life's work to someone who had contributed nothing to its creation. Alexander's presentation of the divorce petition included explanations of his legal strategy and timeline for proceedings that demonstrated months of preparation and sophisticated understanding of divorce law applicable to high-net-worth individuals with complex business assets. His legal team had prepared arguments that emphasized marital contribution to business success while minimizing recognition of premarital innovation and foundational work that had created Sterling Medical Innovations. competitive. The legal documentation revealed that Alexander's systematic integration into Sterling Medical Innovations' strategic planning had been designed specifically to create documentary evidence of collaborative decision-making and shared responsibility for business success. His participation in board meetings, strategic planning sessions, and business development activities had been calculated to establish legal foundation for ownership claims, rather than genuine commitment to advancing medical technology innovation. Alexander's confidence in his legal position reflected sophisticated understanding of divorce law and strategic positioning that had been executed flawlessly throughout our marriage. His systematic documentation of involvement in business operation, combined with detailed financial analysis of company growth during our marriage, appeared to create compelling legal arguments for substantial settlement claims that could threaten Sterling Medical Innovations' independence and future innovation capability. The realization that my birthday celebration had been orchestrated as the setting for this devastating betrayal demonstrated the calculating nature of Alexander's character and his willingness to exploit even the most personal moments for strategic advantage. His choice of timing appeared designed to maximize emotional impact, while creating symbolic association between personal celebration and professional devastation that would enhance the psychological effectiveness of his legal strategy. The shock of discovering that my marriage had been an elaborate deception created immediate concerns about protecting Sterling Medical Innovations from legal challenges that could threaten our ability to continue developing life-saving medical technology. Alexander's systematic intelligence gathering had provided him with detailed understanding of our operations, competitive advantages, and strategic vulnerabilities that could be exploited during divorce proceedings to maximize his financial settlement. The evening that should have represented celebration of another year of life and continued success with meaningful work had instead become the moment when careful legal preparation would be tested against sophisticated betrayal, designed to claim half of everything I had created through years of innovation, sacrifice, and dedication to advancing medical technology that could save lives. The immediate aftermath of Alexander's birthday betrayal required every resource of emotional discipline and strategic thinking I had developed through years of building Sterling Medical Innovations under pressure. While the shock of discovering that my marriage had been an elaborate deception threatened to overwhelm my ability to process the situation rationally, the urgency of protecting my company from systematic legal assault demanded immediate action and clear-headed decision-making despite the personal devastation. The drive home from Lumiere occurred in complete silence as I attempted to comprehend the magnitude of Alexander's planning and the sophistication of his legal strategy. His systematic documentation of involvement in Sterling Medical Innovations operations had created what appeared to be compelling evidence of collaborative decision-making and shared responsibility for business success. The legal arguments outlined in his divorce petition demonstrated months of preparation and strategic positioning that threatened the independence and future innovation capabilities of everything I had worked to build. Alexander's confidence during the divorce presentation reflected his belief that 18 months of systematic intelligence gathering had provided unassailable foundation for claiming substantial ownership interest in Sterling Medical Innovation. His legal team had prepared comprehensive arguments that emphasized marital contribution to business growth, while minimizing recognition of the premarital innovation and foundational work that had created our competitive advantages and market leadership position. The first priority upon returning home was to contact Sarah Chen, the attorney who had represented my interest during prenuptial agreement negotiations, and who maintained comprehensive understanding of the legal protections we had established prior to marriage. Despite the late hour, Sarah's emergency contact protocols ensured immediate availability for crisis situations that could threaten client interest. Her response time demonstrated the professionalism and preparedness that had motivated my selection of her firm for estate planning and business protection services. Sarah's initial assessment of Alexander's divorce petition confirmed the sophistication and comprehensive nature of his legal strategy. His claims against Sterling Medical Innovations were supported by detailed documentation of his involvement in strategic planning processes, business development activities, and operational optimization initiatives that had occurred throughout our marriage. The financial analysis contained within his legal filing demonstrated systematic collection of proprietary information about competitive advantages, intellectual property portfolio, and strategic positioning that reflected extensive preparation. However, Sarah's review of the divorce documentation also revealed critical weaknesses in Alexander's legal position that stemmed directly from the comprehensive protective measures we had implemented during prenuptial agreement negotiation. The specific language regarding intellectual property developed through personal innovation versus collaborative efforts created clear distinctions that would prove crucial for defending against claims of shared ownership. The provisions distinguishing between passive appreciation of premarital assets and active contributions that might justify ownership claims provided additional protection against Alexander's strategic argument. The prenuptial agreement provisions that Sarah had insisted upon during our original negotiations contained protective language that addressed precisely the type of claims Alexander was asserting in his divorce petition. Her prescient inclusion of detailed definitions regarding separate marital property and intellectual property rights had created legal frameworks that would prove essential for defending Sterling Medical Innovations against systematic attack designed to transfer ownership of my life's work to someone who had contributed nothing to its creation. Sarah's analysis of Alexander's legal strategy revealed that his systematic integration into Sterling Medical Innovations' strategic planning processes had been designed specifically to create documentary evidence of collaborative decision-making and shared responsibility for business success. His participation in board meeting, strategic planning sessions, and business development activities had been calculated to establish legal foundation for ownership claims rather than genuine commitment to advancing medical technology innovation. The comprehensive nature of Alexander's information gathering became apparent as Sarah reviewed the financial documentation contained within his divorce petition. His legal team had prepared detailed valuations of assets ranging from patent rights to customer relationships, from operational processes to strategic partnerships that had been developed during our marriage. The sophistication of this analysis reflected extensive access to proprietary information and systematic documentation of competitive advantages that could be exploited during legal proceedings. Sarah's immediate recommendations focused on implementing comprehensive protection protocols to prevent further intelligence gathering while preparing robust legal defense against Alexander's ownership claim. Her emergency response procedures included immediate revocation of Alexander's access to Sterling Medical Innovations facilities, systems, and confidential information. The systematic approach to information security reflected her understanding of the ongoing threats posed by his continued presence in our shared residence and his potential access to sensitive business documents. The legal strategy that Sarah developed for defending against Alexander's claim emphasized the comprehensive protective measures established through our prenuptial agreement, while highlighting the fundamental distinction between his documented involvement in business activities and actual contribution to innovation and value creation. Her approach would demonstrate that Alexander's participation in strategic planning processes reflected access and documentation rather than meaningful collaboration or shared responsibility for Sterling Medical Innovations' success. Sarah's analysis of divorce law applicable to high-net-worth individuals with complex business assets confirmed that comprehensive prenuptial agreements could provide substantial protection against claims of marital interest in premarital business ventures. The specific language we had negotiated regarding intellectual property rights and business ownership structures would prove crucial for maintaining control of Sterling Medical Innovations, despite Alexander's systematic efforts to establish legal foundation for ownership claim. The immediate implementation of protective measures required coordination with Sterling Medical Innovations' executive team to ensure that Alexander's access to confidential information was terminated immediately without disrupting business operations or alerting him to our defensive preparation. Sarah's coordination with corporate security protocols ensured that information protection measures were implemented systematically while maintaining normal business activities that could not be interrupted during this crisis period. The revelation of Alexander's true intentions necessitated comprehensive review of all strategic planning documents, board meeting minutes, and business development materials that he had accessed during our marriage. Sarah's forensic analysis of information exposure would determine the extent of proprietary intelligence that Alexander could potentially use during legal proceedings or share with competitors seeking to undermine Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive position. Sarah's examination of Alexander's legal documentation revealed sophisticated understanding of medical device industry dynamics and strategic positioning that reflected months of systematic study rather than casual observation. His legal arguments demonstrated detailed knowledge of intellectual property valuation methodologies, competitive analysis frameworks, and strategic partnership structures that could only have been acquired through extensive access to confidential business information. The psychological dimension of Alexander's betrayal strategy became apparent through Sarah's analysis of his timing and presentation method. His selection of my birthday for divorce filing appeared designed to maximize emotional impact while creating symbolic association between personal celebration and professional devastation. The sophisticated manipulation of trust and emotional connection demonstrated calculating personality that had been hidden beneath months of apparent partnership and professional collaboration. Sarah's development of comprehensive legal defense strategy required immediate engagement of additional specialized counsel with expertise in intellectual property protection, business valuation, and high net worth divorce proceeding. Her coordination of expert legal team ensured that all aspects of Alexander's claims would be addressed systematically while maintaining aggressive protection of Sterling Medical Innovation, independence, and future innovation capability. The financial implications of Alexander's legal strategy extended beyond immediate ownership claims to include potential disruption of business operations, competitive position, and strategic partnerships that depended on Sterling Medical Innovations, maintaining independent control of proprietary technology and intellectual property. Sarah's analysis demonstrated how divorce proceedings could threaten not only my personal assets, but also the livelihoods of hundreds of employees and the continued development of life-saving medical technology. Sarah's review of Alexander's professional background and financial resources revealed substantial capability for funding extended legal proceedings designed to pressure settlement negotiations through operational disruption and reputational damage. His private equity connections and investment banking experience provided access to sophisticated legal resources and strategic advisory services that could support aggressive litigation tactics intended to maximize settlement value regardless of impact on Sterling Medical Innovation. The defensive legal strategy that Sarah developed emphasized proactive measures to protect Sterling Medical Innovations' operational independence while preparing comprehensive evidence to demonstrate the fundamental invalidity of Alexander's ownership claim. Her approach included immediate implementation of information security protocols, systematic documentation of my premarital contributions to company development, and preparation of expert testimony regarding intellectual property creation and business value generation. Sarah's coordination with Sterling Medical Innovations' board of directors ensured that corporate governance protocols were implemented to protect against potential legal challenges that could disrupt strategic planning and operational effectiveness. Her recommendations included establishing independent committee structures to oversee divorce-related legal matters while maintaining normal business operations and strategic decision-making capabilities. The revelation of Alexander's systematic deception required immediate assessment of potential damage to Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive position through unauthorized disclosure of proprietary information to competitors or potential acquirers. Sarah's investigation protocols included forensic analysis of information access logs, communication records, and document distribution patterns that could reveal the extent of intelligence gathering that had occurred throughout our marriage. Sarah's analysis of precedent cases involving divorce claims against technology companies provided strategic framework for defending against Alexander's ownership assertions while maintaining Sterling Medical Innovations' operational independence and future growth capabilities. Her research demonstrated that comprehensive prenuptial agreements combined with systematic documentation of premarital business development could provide substantial protection against even sophisticated legal challenges. The emotional processing of Alexander's betrayal occurred parallel to urgent legal preparation activities that required maintaining professional effectiveness despite personal devastation. Sarah's understanding of the psychological impact of sophisticated manipulation and betrayal informed her approach to legal strategy development, while ensuring that emotional trauma did not compromise decision-making capabilities during this critical period. The coordination of legal defense activities with Sterling Medical Innovations' normal business operations required careful communication strategies to maintain employee morale and stakeholder confidence while addressing potential threats to company independence and innovation capability. Sarah's approach emphasized transparency with key stakeholders while maintaining confidentiality regarding specific legal strategies and defensive measures being implemented. Sarah's assessment of Alexander's legal position revealed that his confidence in systematic intelligence gathering and strategic positioning might have created overconfidence regarding the strength of his ownership claim. The comprehensive protective measures established through our prenuptial agreement represented legal obstacles that his strategy had not adequately anticipated, creating opportunities for aggressive defense that could transform his apparent advantages into strategic vulnerabilities. The discovery of careful legal preparation had created protection against even sophisticated betrayal, designed to claim half of my life's work provided validation of strategic thinking and comprehensive planning that had characterized every major decision throughout Sterling Medical Innovations' development. The prenuptial agreement provisions that had seemed like routine protective measures would prove to be the fortress walls that preserved everything I had built through years of innovation, sacrifice, and dedication to advancing medical technology that could save lives. The implementation of comprehensive legal defense required systematic coordination across multiple domains of expertise, while maintaining Sterling Medical Innovations' operational effectiveness during what would inevitably become an extended period of litigation. Sarah Chen's assembly of specialized legal counsel included intellectual property attorneys, business valuation experts, and forensic accountants, whose combined expertise would be essential for demonstrating the fundamental invalidity of Alexander's ownership claims, while protecting our competitive position from ongoing threats. The forensic analysis of Alexander's information-gathering activities revealed the systematic nature of his intelligence collection throughout our marriage. Digital forensic specialist discovered that Alexander had created comprehensive databases containing proprietary information about Sterling Medical Innovations' research and development activities, competitive analysis, strategic partnerships, and financial performance metrics. The sophistication of his documentation system demonstrated premeditated planning that extended far beyond opportunistic information collection. Michael Harrison, the intellectual property attorney Sarah retained, provided specialized expertise in defending technology companies against ownership claims based on alleged collaborative innovation. His analysis of Sterling Medical Innovations' patent portfolio demonstrated clear documentation of my individual contributions to technological development that preceded Alexander's involvement by several years. The patent applications and research documentation provided irrefutable evidence that our core innovations emerged from my personal work rather than collaborative efforts during our marriage. The business valuation analysis conducted by Jennifer Walsh, a certified forensic accountant specializing in medical device companies, established comprehensive documentation of Sterling Medical Innovations' value creation timeline. Her methodologies distinguished between foundational business development that occurred prior to my relationship with Alexander and incremental growth that might have benefited from his strategic input. The analysis demonstrated that our company's competitive advantages and market position derived primarily from premarital innovation and business development activity. Sarah's coordination of expert testimony preparation ensured that our legal defense would present compelling evidence regarding the source of Sterling Medical Innovations' value and the nature of Alexander's actual contributions to business development. The testimony framework emphasized the distinction between documented access to strategic planning processes and meaningful collaboration that might justify ownership claims. This approach would demonstrate that Alexander's involvement reflected privilege and documentation rather than genuine value creation. The discovery process initiated by Alexander's legal team required comprehensive production of business documents, strategic planning materials, and financial records that could support or contradict his claims of collaborative contribution to Sterling Medical Innovations' success. Sarah's management of document production ensured that we provided complete transparency, while highlighting information that demonstrated the premarital origins of our competitive advantages and technological innovation. Alexander's legal strategy became increasingly apparent through the discovery requests his attorneys submitted. Their focus on strategic planning documents, board meeting minutes, and business development communications reflected systematic effort to establish documentary evidence of collaborative decision-making and shared responsibility for company growth. The sophistication of their approach confirmed that Alexander's integration into our business operations had been calculated to create legal foundation for ownership claims. The deposition process provided opportunities to examine Alexander's understanding of medical device technology and his actual contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations' innovation activity. Sarah's preparation strategy emphasized questions that would reveal the limitations of Alexander's technical knowledge and his reliance on existing business processes, rather than meaningful innovation or value creation. The depositions would demonstrate that his involvement reflected access and documentation rather than collaborative innovation. Harrison's analysis of patent documentation and research records provided compelling evidence that Sterling Medical Innovations' core technological advantages emerged from years of individual research and development that preceded Alexander's involvement. The patent applications contained detailed technical specifications and innovation timelines that demonstrated clear authorship and creation dates that established intellectual property rights, independent of any marital collaboration claim. The financial analysis conducted by Jennifer Walsh revealed that Sterling Medical Innovations' market valuation growth during our marriage reflected primarily the commercial success of pre-existing technology rather than new innovations developed through collaborative effort. Her methodology distinguished between passive appreciation of established assets and active value creation that might justify shared ownership claims. The analysis demonstrated that Alexander's strategic input had limited measurable impact on fundamental business value. Sarah's development of witness testimony strategy included current and former Sterling Medical Innovations employees who could provide direct evidence regarding my individual contributions to technology development and business innovation. Their testimony would establish the historical record of individual achievement while demonstrating that Alexander's involvement in strategic planning represented consultation rather than collaborative innovation that might justify ownership claims. The preparation of expert witness testimony required comprehensive analysis of industry standards for intellectual property valuation and business ownership determination in divorce proceedings involving technology companies. Sarah's coordination with leading experts in medical device industry analysis ensured that our defense would present authoritative evidence regarding the source of competitive advantages and the nature of value creation in healthcare technology companies. Alexander's legal team attempted to establish that his strategic input had been essential for Sterling Medical Innovations' growth through expert testimony regarding the importance of financial planning and business development guidance for technology company success. Sarah's counter strategy emphasized that strategic consultation, while potentially valuable, did not constitute collaborative innovation that would justify ownership claims under North Carolina divorce law and our prenuptial agreement provision. The psychological evaluation that Sarah recommended provided professional assessment of the manipulation and systematic deception that had characterized Alexander's approach to our relationship. Rebecca Martinez, a clinical psychologist specializing in financial abuse and manipulation within intimate relationships, documented the patterns of behavior that demonstrated calculated positioning rather than authentic partnership and emotional connection. Martinez's analysis revealed that Alexander's relationship development strategy reflected sophisticated understanding of psychological manipulation techniques designed to establish trust and access while maintaining plausible deniability regarding his ultimate intention. Her professional assessment provided framework for understanding how systematic deception had enabled Alexander's information gathering and strategic positioning throughout our marriage. The media management strategy that Sarah developed recognized that high-profile divorce proceedings involving successful technology companies could attract public attention that might compromise Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive position or create reputational challenges. Her approach emphasized maintaining confidentiality regarding specific legal strategies while ensuring that stakeholder communications protected company interests and employee morale during the litigation period. The coordination with Sterling Medical Innovations' board of directors required careful balance between transparency regarding potential legal challenges and confidentiality regarding specific defensive strategy. Sarah's communication approach ensured that board members understood the nature of threats to company independence while maintaining confidence in our ability to protect organizational interests and continue normal business operations throughout the legal proceeding. The employee communication strategy addressed potential concerns about company stability and future employment security that could arise from knowledge of legal challenges to ownership structure. Sarah's recommendations emphasized transparency regarding our defensive capabilities while maintaining confidentiality about specific legal tactics and strategic approaches that could be compromised through premature disclosure. The analysis of Alexander's financial resources and legal capabilities revealed substantial capacity for funding extended litigation designed to pressure settlement negotiations through operational disruption and resource depletion. His private equity connections provided access to sophisticated legal counsel and strategic advisory services that could support aggressive tactics intended to maximize settlement value regardless of impact on Sterling Medical Innovations' mission-driven innovation activity. Sarah's assessment of litigation timeline considerations indicated that comprehensive defense preparation would require approximately 18 months to complete discovery, expert witness preparation, and trial strategy development. The extended timeline created challenges for maintaining business operations and strategic planning while ensuring that legal defense received appropriate attention and resources necessary for successful resolution. The development of settlement negotiation strategy required careful analysis of potential outcomes and the long-term implications of different resolution approaches for Sterling Medical Innovations' independence and future innovation capability. Sarah's framework emphasized maintaining complete control of intellectual property and business operations while minimizing financial impact and litigation duration that could disrupt our mission-driven technology development activity. The intellectual property protection measures that Sarah implemented included comprehensive documentation of innovation timelines, research methodologies, and individual contributions to technology development that would provide irrefutable evidence of premarital creation and ownership. The systematic approach to intellectual property documentation ensured that our legal defense would present compelling evidence regarding the source of competitive advantages and technological innovation. The financial protection protocols established during our legal defense preparation included measures to prevent unauthorized access to Sterling Medical Innovations' banking systems, investment account, and financial planning documents that Alexander might attempt to use for supporting his ownership claims or disrupting business operations. Sarah's coordination with financial institutions ensured that appropriate security measures protected company assets while maintaining normal business functionality. The discovery of additional evidence regarding Alexander's systematic planning included documentation of his research into divorce law, technology company valuation methodologies, and strategic approaches for maximizing settlement claims against healthcare technology companies. The evidence revealed that his legal strategy had been in development for months before our marriage and represented calculated positioning rather than responsive legal action following relationship breakdown. The revelation that Alexander's entire approach to our relationship had been designed to create legal foundation for claiming ownership of Sterling Medical Innovations provided validation of the comprehensive protective measures we had established through prenuptial agreement negotiation. The legal fortress that Sarah had constructed through careful planning and systematic documentation would prove essential for defending against even the most sophisticated and well-funded attempts to claim half of everything I had built through years of innovation, sacrifice, and dedication to advancing medical technology that could save lives. The preparation of our legal defense demonstrated how strategic thinking and comprehensive planning could provide protection against betrayal that threatened to destroy not only personal happiness, but also the continued development of technology that had meaningful impact on patient outcomes worldwide. The battle ahead would test every aspect of our defensive preparation while validating the importance of thinking strategically about protection and security in both personal and professional relations. The preliminary hearing that would determine the initial framework for our divorce proceedings took place in the Wake County Superior Court on a crisp February morning, 8 weeks after Alexander's birthday. Betrayal had shattered my personal world while threatening the independence of Sterling Medical Innovations. The courtroom atmosphere reflected the high-stakes nature of our legal confrontation, with Alexander's legal team occupying one side of the chamber while Sarah Chen and our assembled experts prepared to present the comprehensive defense we had developed through months of systematic preparation and strategic planning. Judge Patricia Morrison presided over the proceedings with the authoritative presence and judicial experience that had earned her recognition as one of North Carolina's most respected jurists in complex commercial litigation. Her background included extensive experience with high-net-worth divorce cases involving technology companies and intellectual property disputes, providing the specialized knowledge necessary for understanding the sophisticated legal arguments that both sides would present regarding Sterling Medical Innovations' ownership structure and valuation. Alexander's lead attorney, Richard Blackwood, represented one of Charlotte's most prestigious law firms specializing in high-stakes divorce litigation and complex asset division cases. His reputation for aggressive tactics and successful outcomes in cases involving technology entrepreneurs had apparently motivated Alexander's selection of his legal representation. Blackwood's opening presentation emphasized Alexander's strategic contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations during our marriage, while arguing that the company's growth reflected collaborative efforts that justified substantial ownership claims. Blackwood's initial arguments focused on what he characterized as Alexander's transformational impact on Sterling Medical Innovations, business development, and strategic positioning during our 18-month marriage. His presentation included detailed documentation of Alexander's participation in board meetings, strategic planning sessions, and business development activities that had occurred throughout our relationship. The sophisticated legal framework that Blackwood presented reflected months of preparation and systematic positioning designed to maximize Alexander's settlement claim. The financial analysis that Blackwood presented to support Alexander's ownership claims included comprehensive valuation methodologies that emphasized Sterling Medical Innovations' growth during our marriage period, while minimizing recognition of premarital innovation and business development. His expert witnesses included business valuation specialists and healthcare industry analysts, who argued that Alexander's strategic input had been essential for our company's continued success and market leadership position. Sarah Chen's opening response immediately challenged the fundamental assumptions underlying Alexander's legal strategy by emphasizing the comprehensive protective measures established through our prenuptial agreement negotiation. Her presentation highlighted the specific language regarding intellectual property rights and business ownership structures that provided clear legal framework for defending against claims of marital interest in premarital business ventures and technological innovation. Sarah's systematic deconstruction of Alexander's claims began with presentation of patent documentation and research records that demonstrated the premarital origins of Sterling Medical Innovations' core technological advantage. Her evidence included detailed innovation timelines, research methodologies, and individual contribution documentation that established irrefutable proof of my personal authorship and creation of the intellectual property that formed the foundation of our company's competitive position. Michael Harrison provided expert testimony regarding intellectual property law and the legal principles governing ownership determination in cases involving alleged collaborative innovation. His analysis demonstrated that Alexander's documented participation in strategic planning processes represented consultation and access rather than meaningful collaboration that would justify ownership claims under established legal precedent and intellectual property protection framework. The testimony of Dr. Ilana Rodriguez, a former Sterling Medical Innovations research director who had worked with me since our company's founding, provided compelling evidence regarding my individual contributions to technology development and innovation activity. Her detailed account of our research collaboration and my personal role in developing predictive monitoring algorithms demonstrated the individual nature of technological innovation that had created our competitive advantage. Jennifer Walsh's forensic accounting analysis presented comprehensive documentation of Sterling Medical Innovations' value creation timeline and the relationship between our company's market position and specific innovation activity. Her methodology clearly distinguished between foundation business development that occurred prior to Alexander's involvement and incremental growth that might have benefited from his strategic input during our marriage period. The cross-examination of Alexander revealed significant limitations in his technical understanding of medical device technology and his actual contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations' innovation activity. Sarah's questioning strategy exposed the superficial nature of his knowledge regarding our core technologies while demonstrating that his involvement reflected access and documentation rather than collaborative innovation or meaningful value creation. Alexander's testimony under oath provided opportunities to examine his motivations and the systematic nature of his information gathering throughout our marriage. Sarah's questions revealed the calculated planning that had characterized his approach to our relationship and his systematic documentation of business information for purposes that extended beyond genuine partnership or collaborative strategic planning. The revelation of Alexander's premarital research into divorce law and technology company valuation methodologies provided devastating evidence regarding his true intentions and the premeditated nature of his legal strategy. Sarah's presentation of this evidence demonstrated that Alexander's approach to our relationship had been designed from the beginning to create legal foundation for claiming ownership of Sterling Medical Innovations rather than building authentic partnership or emotional connection. Rebecca Martinez's psychological evaluation testimony provided professional analysis of the manipulation and systematic deception that had characterized Alexander's relationship development strategy. Her clinical assessment documented patterns of behavior that demonstrated calculated positioning rather than authentic partnership, providing crucial context for understanding the nature of Alexander's claims and motivations. The presentation of financial records demonstrating Alexander's independent wealth and successful investment career contradicted any suggestion that his involvement with Sterling Medical Innovations had been motivated by genuine interest in advancing medical technology or building collaborative business partnerships. Sarah's evidence showed that Alexander's financial independence eliminated any legitimate justification for claiming ownership interest in my life's work. Judge Morrison's questioning of both parties revealed her sophisticated understanding of the legal principles governing intellectual property ownership and the specific provisions within our prenuptial agreement that addressed scenarios involving business growth during marriage. Her inquiries demonstrated careful consideration of the evidence presented while maintaining judicial objectivity regarding the complex legal and factual issues involved in our case. The testimony of Sterling Medical Innovations' Chief Technology Officer provided additional evidence regarding my individual contributions to technology development and the timeline of innovation activities that had created our competitive advantage. His detailed account of our collaborative research work demonstrated the personal nature of technological breakthrough that had established our market leadership position in predictive medical monitoring systems. Blackwood's presentation of expert testimony regarding the importance of strategic planning and business development guidance for technology company success attempted to establish that Alexander's consulting contributions justified ownership claims despite the prenuptial agreement protection. His arguments emphasized the value of financial expertise and strategic insight, while minimizing the significance of individual technological innovation and intellectual property creation. Sarah's rebuttal presentation systematically dismantled each component of Alexander's legal strategy by demonstrating how the comprehensive protective measures established through our prenuptial agreement specifically addressed the types of claims he was asserting. Her analysis showed that the legal language we had negotiated provided clear framework for distinguishing between consultation services and collaborative innovation that might justify ownership claims. The presentation of additional evidence regarding Alexander's systematic intelligence gathering included documentation of his unauthorized copying of proprietary business information and his creation of comprehensive databases containing competitive analysis and strategic planning material. This evidence demonstrated the calculated nature of his information collection and his intention to use privileged access for personal benefit rather than collaborative business development. Judge Morrison's preliminary ruling addressed the immediate question of whether Alexander's claims had sufficient legal foundation to proceed to full trial proceedings. Her analysis of the prenuptial agreement provisions and the evidence presented regarding the premarital origins of Sterling Medical Innovation competitive advantages provided initial validation of our defensive strategy and the protective measures Sarah had implemented. The court's initial determination that Alexander's ownership claims lacked sufficient legal foundation under the specific provisions of our prenuptial agreement represented a significant victory that validated the comprehensive protective planning we had undertaken during our marriage negotiations. Judge Morrison's ruling emphasized the importance of clear legal documentation and the specific language that distinguished between passive appreciation of premarital assets and active contribution that might justify ownership claims. The immediate implication of Judge Morrison's preliminary ruling included dismissal of Alexander's most aggressive ownership claims, while establishing legal framework for evaluating any remaining financial settlement issue. The court's recognition of our prenuptial agreement protections provided validation of strategic legal planning while ensuring that Sterling Medical Innovation would maintain independence and operational control throughout the remaining divorce proceeding. Alexander's reaction to the preliminary ruling revealed his shock at discovering that his systematic planning and legal strategy had failed to overcome the protective measures we had established through comprehensive prenuptial agreement negotiation. His confident expectation of claiming substantial ownership interest in Sterling Medical Innovation had been systematically dismantled through superior legal preparation and strategic thinking that had anticipated exactly the type of sophisticated betrayal he had attempted. The court confrontation demonstrated how careful legal preparation and comprehensive protective planning could provide effective defense against even the most sophisticated attempts to claim ownership of intellectual property and business assets created through individual innovation and achievement. The validation of our defensive strategy provided confirmation that strategic thinking and professional legal counsel could protect against betrayal that threatened to destroy both personal happiness and professional accomplishment. The immediate next steps following Judge Morrison's preliminary ruling included continued proceedings to resolve remaining financial settlement issues while ensuring that Sterling Medical Innovation maintained complete independence and operational control. Sarah's management of the ongoing legal process would focus on minimizing disruption to our business operation while achieving final resolution that protected our mission-driven innovation activities and competitive market position. The weeks following Judge Morrison's preliminary ruling marked a period of profound transformation in both the legal proceedings and Alexander's psychological response to the systematic dismantling of his carefully constructed strategy. The confidence that had characterized his initial presentation of divorce documents had evaporated as the comprehensive nature of our prenuptial agreement protections became apparent. His legal team faced the sobering reality that months of strategic positioning and systematic intelligence gathering had failed to overcome the protective measures Sarah Chen had established through meticulous planning and sophisticated legal frameworks. Alexander's behavior during this period revealed the calculating personality that had been concealed beneath 18 months of sophisticated charm and apparent partnership. The mask of loving husband and strategic collaborator fell away completely, exposing someone whose entire approach to our relationship had been motivated by financial opportunism rather than authentic emotional connection. His interactions with my legal team became increasingly hostile, as he realized that his systematic betrayal would not achieve the financial windfall he had anticipated. The discovery process that continued following the preliminary hearing provided additional evidence of Alexander's premeditated planning and the extensive nature of his systematic deception. Forensic analysis of his personal computer systems revealed comprehensive research into technology company valuations, divorce law precedents, and strategic approaches for maximizing settlement claims against healthcare entrepreneurs. The digital evidence demonstrated that his legal strategy had been in development for months before our marriage, confirming that our entire relationship had been an elaborate deception designed to position him for financial gain. Sarah Chen's investigative team uncovered additional documentation that revealed the full scope of Alexander's intelligence-gathering activities throughout our marriage. Hidden files on his personal devices contain detailed analyses of Sterling Medical Innovations' competitive advantage, comprehensive financial projections, and strategic assessments that could only have been compiled through systematic exploitation of his privileged access to confidential business information. The sophistication of his documentation system reflected professional-level corporate espionage rather than casual interest in his spouse's business activity. The most damaging revelation emerged when forensic investigators discovered encrypted communications between Alexander and external parties who appeared to be potential buyers or competitors interested in acquiring Sterling Medical Innovations' intellectual property. These communications suggested that Alexander had been exploring opportunities to monetize his access to proprietary information through channels that extended beyond divorce proceedings. The evidence indicated that his betrayal encompassed not only personal deception, but also potential corporate espionage that could have threatened our competitive position and violated federal trade secret protection laws. Rebecca Martinez conducted additional psychological evaluations that provided deeper insight into Alexander's personality profile and the methodologies he had employed for systematic manipulation and trust exploitation. Her clinical analysis revealed patterns of behavior consistent with narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial tendencies that enabled sophisticated deception without emotional attachment or genuine empathy. Her professional assessment helped explain how Alexander had maintained convincing facade of partnership while systematically planning betrayal that threatened both personal happiness and professional achievement. The revelation of Alexander's true character created opportunities for Sarah to pursue additional legal remedies beyond divorce proceedings. The evidence of systematic corporate espionage and potential trade secret theft provided foundation for criminal referrals and civil litigation that could result in substantial financial penalties and legal consequences that extended far beyond divorce settlement consideration. Sarah's expanded legal strategy would seek not only to protect Sterling Medical Innovations from ownership claims, but also to pursue accountability for the broader pattern of deception and potential criminal activity. Alexander's legal team attempted to negotiate settlement agreements that would minimize his exposure to criminal prosecution, while securing financial compensation for his claimed contributions to Sterling Medical Innovations' success. Richard Blackwood's revised strategy emphasized damage control and risk mitigation rather than aggressive pursuit of maximum ownership claims. The fundamental shift in their approach reflected recognition that the evidence of systematic deception and potential criminal activity had created legal vulnerabilities that threatened to result in outcomes far worse than unsuccessful divorce proceedings. The settlement negotiations that followed revealed the desperation that had replaced Alexander's initial confidence. His willingness to accept significantly reduced financial settlements in exchange for avoiding criminal prosecution demonstrated his recognition that the systematic betrayal had created legal exposure that extended far beyond divorce proceedings. The man who had expected to claim ownership of half my life's work was now focused primarily on avoiding criminal charges that could result in federal prosecution and substantial prison sentence. Sarah's negotiation strategy emphasized accountability and deterrence while seeking resolution that would allow Sterling Medical Innovations to move forward without ongoing legal distraction. Her approach balanced pursuit of justice with practical considerations regarding the time and resources required for extended litigation that could disrupt our business operations and divert attention from mission-driven innovation activity. The settlement framework she developed would ensure Alexander faced meaningful consequences while protecting our company's ability to continue developing life-saving medical technology. The financial terms that ultimately emerged from settlement negotiations reflected the complete collapse of Alexander's legal position and his recognition that continued litigation would likely result in criminal prosecution and substantial legal penalty. His agreement to relinquish all claims against Sterling Medical Innovations while accepting minimal financial settlement represented total defeat of the systematic strategy he had pursued through months of deception and calculated positioning. The broader implications of Alexander's failed betrayal extended beyond immediate legal resolution to include validation, comprehensive protective planning, and strategic thinking that had enabled successful defense against sophisticated financial predation. The case demonstrated how proper legal preparation and expert counsel could provide effective protection against even the most calculating attempts to exploit trust and intimate relationships for financial gain. The employee communications that followed settlement resolution emphasized the importance of the lessons learned through our legal confrontation, while reinforcing Sterling Medical Innovations' commitment to mission-driven innovation and ethical business practices. The successful defense against Alexander's systematic betrayal provided evidence of organizational resilience and leadership effectiveness that enhanced employee confidence in our company's stability and future growth prospects. The board of directors' response to the settlement resolution included formal recognition of the strategic thinking and comprehensive planning that had enabled successful protection of company assets and intellectual property rights. Their appreciation for the legal preparation that had prevented potential disaster reinforced the value of proactive risk management and professional advisory relationships that could address threats to organizational independence and competitive position. The media attention that accompanied the conclusion of our legal proceedings focused on the broader implications for technology entrepreneurs and the importance of comprehensive protective planning in personal relationships. Industry publications highlighted our case as an example of how sophisticated legal preparation could provide effective defense against systematic betrayal that threatened both personal happiness and professional achievement. The personal healing process that began following settlement resolution required addressing the emotional trauma of discovering that 18 months of marriage had been an elaborate deception designed to exploit trust and intimate connection for financial gain. The psychological support that Dr. Martinez provided helped process the complex emotions associated with betrayal while developing frameworks for rebuilding trust and maintaining openness to authentic relationships in the future. The professional growth that emerged from successfully navigating Alexander's systematic betrayal included enhanced understanding of risk assessment and protective planning that would inform future strategic decisions regarding both personal and business relations. The experience reinforced the importance of comprehensive preparation and expert advisory relationships, while demonstrating that even sophisticated threats could be overcome through strategic thinking and systematic defensive measures. The renewed focus on Sterling Medical Innovations' mission-driven innovation activities provided meaningful direction for channeling the energy and determination that had sustained our legal defense into continued development of medical technology that could improve patient outcomes worldwide. The successful protection of our company's independence ensured that we could continue pursuing breakthrough innovations without distraction from legal challenges or threats to organizational autonomy. The validation of comprehensive legal preparation through successful defense against Alexander's systematic betrayal, provided confirmation that strategic thinking and professional expertise could protect against threats that seemed overwhelming when first discovered. The transformation of apparent disaster into ultimate victory demonstrated the power of preparation and the importance of thinking strategically about protection and security in both personal and professional contexts. The lessons learned through our legal confrontation would inform future decision-making regarding both business operations and personal relationships, while reinforcing the fundamental importance of trust, authenticity, and shared values in building sustainable partnerships that could withstand external pressures and internal challenges. The experience demonstrated that while betrayal could threaten everything we had worked to build, proper preparation and strategic response could transform apparent catastrophe into validation of the principles and practices that had guided our success. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.